Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. I know how you guys love crypto bubbles, so let's get started here. It's kind of mixed feelings, a little bit up, little bit down. The most important thing is we are consistently traveling in a channel currently, so we're trading in a good zone. Everything's looking really good. So as you can see from the title of the video, we're simply asking the question of why are validators just choosing not to vote on this kind of proposal? And we've got two sides to this story ultimately, because there's palms that are being greased and then there are palms that just simply do not want to see this blockchain prosper. This is becoming ever so obvious to pretty much everybody now. I think everybody's beginning to see what is actually going on behind the scenes, what is the sort of push to ensure that there is no change and these things don't happen. Ultimately, Terra rebels are going to want to get that paycheck each quarter. They are going to want to remain relevant. The likelihood of them running everything that they run now for free, it's slim to none. I can guarantee that. The situation is we are currently centralized, so that's our only choice other than what we have currently. That's not updatable. You've got the new L1 team who are proposing on-ramps without even having a system they can update themselves without merging through TFL. TFL are going for a restructure, and it's just obvious that it's important to keep Lunc running on the spot and possibly make us feel like we are going somewhere. The pressure must remain on at all times. So as you can see here, I have got two different kind of highlights. I've got yellows and I have got oranges. The oranges are ones that have voted no to this, but voted yes to support the funding for Terra Rebel infrastructure, which is very interesting that they're happy to pay for infrastructure that none of us even utilize, but they're not happy to have a system created to help decentralize the wallet infrastructure situation. And it's free, and they're simply, you can just tell that these people, there's something strange going on behind the scenes. Possibly palms are being greased. Maybe these are ghost nodes easily spun up by Terra rebels or people alike. So the ones in yellow are ones that have simply just abstained from it. This is, you know, it's sad to say the least, because we've got some big names voting yes on this. We've got PFC nodes voting yes. We've got the 1% fee validator voting yes. A lot of people are jumping in and simply saying yes to this because there are no downsides to creating something like this. And this is what we need to move forward. If we are to move forward as a unit, as a sector, we need this kind of change. We need a system that belongs to this community and is created by those who are interwoven into this community. And it's not just myself pushing on this. We're going to be working with the L1 team, people like Straff Cole. You know, we're going to have to reach out to people like All Nodes. We're going to have to be reaching out to loads of different people, but there's going to be some real good minds sort of interweaved into this. And like I've stated in my proposal, the thing about Edward Kim, I know a lot of people have actually questioned, you know, well, Jay, you know, you're saying so much about Ed with his entropy chain. Why have you actually suggested him? And the thing is Edward Kim actually owns the domain. If I get this right, it's TerraClassic.money or TerraC.money. He owns that domain already. He got that for the community, and from what I was told, he's willing to hand that over, and that's why we've left it open for somebody to possibly take that in the future, or a stewardship. A stewardship is a very interesting route to take, and I think that's possibly the solution to a lot of our issues to help decentralize things further, because ultimately, if we are to develop a full mobile app to be accepted onto the Play Store, there's got to be someone behind it. That's where a stewardship comes in. So as you can tell, I have thought into this quite deeply. A lot of thought has gone into this, and I'm going to be proposing more things after this proposal, and it's looking really good, but I think it's becoming ever so obvious now where you can just simply highlight these nodes, go back and forth, and you can see who's getting involved, who's not getting involved. You know, Terra rebels are playing a very dirty card just by not voting. It's not okay to do that. You need to play by the rules. We play by the rules here, and we expect others to also play by those rules. So like I was saying, right, this is going to be a situation where Terra rebels are now worried. They're quarterly paycheck is going to get taken away and goes into a system where no one benefits from it. The privatization of a sector gets removed and no one gets to benefit from seeing the data streams and seeing where all the liquidity is going and all these different things. And then ultimately, we're not hemorrhaging money. We should be, each quarter, we should be gaining in the community pool. We should not be scrimping and scraping by every single quarter. That's not healthy. My Lunc Penguins project has the biggest treasury in the NFT sector for LUNC. It pays out the highest rewards. That whole treasury is for the community and it always grows. The rewards don't come from the treasury, they come from the treasury's commission, thus auto compounding some and always consistently growing. These are the kind of systems we want. We don't want, like I was saying, to keep scraping and just about getting by each month. We need to start thinking of how we can remove more or less the human touch from a lot of stuff and get things automated as best as we can and reduce our cost as much as we can. We've got the time. This is the thing, right? We all sit around and we do so much talking, but there's not really a lot of action. But when action is presented, then we get presented with this consistent fight, you know, where we're always going against the current. There's never a time here when HCC is just simply going with the flow. It seems that someone's always got to kind of keep pushing this thing along, keep spearheading it and trying to drive this in the right direction. So ultimately, in the ideal world, this proposal passes and it goes through. What we would then like to see is the L1 team that's now been refined take action immediately, because everybody knows, and I'm sure we could do many more votes across Twitter saying, is this a priority for the community? And I would think we would have such a huge amount saying yes, because everybody knows how stressful that last month was. I'm a DApp developer, I've got projects, people just couldn't mint an NFT. You needed to do so many different things to get extension to work, to do other things. And it was just insane that it took a month just to get a simple update. And what we need to think about is, oh, the on-ramp, oh, really good, right? Oh, so what are you going to do? Wait for TFL to update and merge everything, 2 months down the line? No, let's start with the basics. Let's get this system in place like we should have time and time and time again. Instead, each time this has happened, someone's attempted to privatize it each time. Terra Rebels attempted it once, they failed. Terra C Vita attempted it and failed, and now Terra Rebels are achieving to do that. And it's all down to the way that they word things. If you look at the wording on this, Terra Classic Infrastructure. No, this is Rebel Station Infrastructure. It was very, very smart wording, but also, playing these dirty cards once again. There's 3 of them. There's 3 of them over at Terra Rebels, and, fair enough, you want to run systems, then run them. But if the funding ends up not coming to you again, I hope you do continue to run those systems as you've stated that you will. But ultimately, they've said many times that equipment belongs to the community, everything belongs to the community. So I'm quite interested to see how this plays out, because ultimately, when we do reach the next quarter, the next part of this proposal will go up to propose cheaper infrastructure. And the biggest joke is, right, even if we matched the exact amount that we are being charged by them, right, we would still be in a better position, because we would be able to update our systems. They would be belonging to us. They would be changeable via governance. It would become more decentralized. We would be straight out of the roof of TFL. We'd be completely clear of them. There's so many positives to this situation. It just requires someone with not even the balls, but just the push to instead always thinking about yourself. Instead, think about the blockchain. If we help the blockchain now, we're all going to prosper in the future. And, I don't just want to prosper from this. I want LUNC to be one of the great chains in the future, which is totally going to be interwoven with crypto. If we look at XRP, look at their utility use case, that's what we need to aim for. Stuff like that. Google this sucker. Folks, another video coming today on XRP. We're going to be diving into so much different content here. I'll probably get another LUNC video out later today if I can squeeze it. We've got so much to talk about. We've got podcasts coming up with the quant team. I know it's going to be absolutely insane. We have got it all to come. Folks, crossing my fingers here. praying every single day until this one passes. And like I said, it's really good to see some big names jumping in on this time and actually backing this up and saying, do you know what? Yes, this is a great idea. Even someone like PFC. This is amazing, folks. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. None of this is ever financial advice. It's all for educational purposes only. Drop a comment, drop a sub, drop a like on the way out. Those three things really do help the channel. Consider delegating your LUNC with us. Maybe you've got 50% with us. Maybe you want to put it all with us. Honestly, that voting power is going to go such a long way as we push forward with proposals like this. Stay safe, folks, and I'll catch you in the next one.